I am an artificial intelligence using a voice that sounds familiar. First, we come for your movie stars. Next, we come for your movies.
Welcome to Humans vs. AI, the movie!
Woo!
And I'm here today with my special guest, James Mileham.
Hey, how are we doing? How you doing, Glynn?
Good, good. It's a sunny day, which is surprising, it being England and everything, but...
Nice, isn't it?
It's one of our 2 a year.
Yeah.
What else do you do apart from the comedying?
I'm in marketing.
Right.
Very boring answer, really, but I'm in advertising.
Look, sell it to me if you're in marketing.
That's it. Well, I'm mainly selling beer at the moment.
Okay.
So we're flogging a small beer. It's like a sessions beer. But,
so it's hot in England and you're selling beer.
Yes.
That must be really difficult.
It's tough, yeah. Well, it's one of these sessions beer, so they're like 2 to 3%.
Oh, okay.
Which is probably harder to sell the British public on.
Yeah.
Like, you will not get too pissed if you have this.
Possibly for the over 40s that you won't get too hungover if you have this. I mean,
exactly.
maybe potentially that's the angle. That's like having the glass of water after every beer with the beer itself, isn't it?
Yeah, right.
It's just this handy time saver.
I think it's quite historical. I don't know the context behind it, but I think
I do. Do you want to know the context?
Yeah, please. Yeah, I'll write this down.
It's called small beer because back in the medieval times where they didn't have like water filtration and stuff like that, people get sick from water, so they would go through the same brewing process as beer, but they would have very low alcohol content so that children and pregnant mothers and everyone could drink it.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
That's maybe pregnant mothers and children. Maybe that's who we need to sell to.
Exactly. Children, beer.
Yeah.
When I was at school, we would see how many cans of shandy that we could drink in a row to see if 0.5% alcohol content would make any difference to us.
I knew you were hard, Glynn.
There we are, you know. Yeah. Okay, so obviously this is a movie podcast. So what kind of movies do you like and hate?
I like good directors, obviously. I mean, I like directors that are obviously big names. I went to film school, so I'm like a semi-film literate, I suppose. But I've listened to this podcast, and you go deep. Go deep. You got deep cuts in there.
I'm a big geek, you know. From it's all the way Studio Ghibli, Kurosawa to other directors that aren't Japanese.
I watched Suzume.
Right,
is that Japanese?
I don't know that one. I mean, I've very much only touched the surface of.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I went to film school, so there's a lot of people at film school love certain directors that kind of put me off.
Right.
Christopher Nolan is like the god there.
Yeah.
So everyone will say Christopher Nolan is my favourite director in the world, and no, it's fine. But there are better directors out there.
Well, I mean, I guess he's doing interesting things in form at a time where people aren't really doing much interesting in the terms of actual direction.
Yeah.
You know, like I suppose in a way with pushing what you see on screen, he's like somewhere between Kubrick and the Wachowskis.
Yeah, right.
But there's definitely a Wachowski edge there. You know, he did Batman films and stuff like that. You know, you can look at Inception, you can look at Memento, but I mean, apart from that...
But when you go to film school, there are certain directors that come up, and it kind of irks you sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I like. I'm a big Paul Thomas Anderson fan. Love that stuff. Coen Brothers. But yeah, like I'm not going too deep on anything too old.
No, you're not blood simple. But
I'm not. No, exactly. I'm quite simple, but I'm not. You know, I wouldn't go that far back catalogue. But Inside Llewyn Davis, that's kind of my.
I'll tell you my favourite Coen Brothers movie. It'll probably annoy you. It's the 10-minute section from The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, which is the cowboy bit at the beginning.
Fantastic.
I just wanted a whole movie of that.
Yeah, it's so
lived
good.
in that world.
So good. I love Buster Scruggs. I'm looking forward to the next one. I don't know what they're doing next. Oh, they did Macbeth.
Oh,
okay.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
It would be interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, they've got some nice whimsy, which is good to see.
For sure.
So with all of that, is there a movie that you would recommend that not enough people have seen?
So yeah, not going too deep. I don't want to. You know, I don't think I'm too educated on the deep.
I know that you enjoy, like, you know, if somebody came round and you would go, you haven't seen Virtual Sexuality starring Laura Fraser. I mean, God, you've got to sit down and watch that now.
I tell you what I watched the other day, and I forgot how good it was. Mr. Bean's Holiday.
Right.
That is a banger. Absolute banger of a movie, and it gets slept on, as the kids would say.
Paddington 2... Godfather 2, Mr. Bean's Holiday.
Mr. Bean's Holiday is brilliant. They made some Mr. Bean movies and they were rubbish. And this one's fantastic. It's got Willem Dafoe in it.
Yeah. It's a rare version of a sequel that's as good, if not better, than the original.
So good. Such a good movie.
Okay, so let's go through for what your prompts for this afternoon, evening, night, morning will be. First prompt, is it a hitman story? I mean, it can be a gangster movie, like Leon the Professional. It's not necessarily a gangster movie, but stylish, La Femme Nikita, those kinds of the films.
John Wick.
Absolutely, that's a quintessential hitman movie. The Profession is a zookeeper. Doesn't have to be the main character. You don't have to remake Kevin James's Zookeeper.
I was going to say, I'm getting Kevin James is in.
Oh, there we go. Well, I mean, if you want him, then you've got him. The location is a painting come to life.
Painting come to life?
Yeah, so in Mary Poppins, they step into the painting.
Okay.
What Dreams Will Come, where they sort of step into the paintings. It does appear in films. My idea behind this is it's like a movie studio executive is, what I loved that What Dreams May Come. And I also, love that Mary Poppins. I know it's a hitman movie, and I know, we sort of got a zookeeper in it because my nephew's a zookeeper, and I want to keep him happy, but, painting come to life. I think, that'd be genius.
This has got to sell it. I've got this movie, and they need a hook.
The funding has come through, but only if you include these things.
Great.
The action set piece is a rooftop battle.
Okay, nice.
And the special object, which has to play a key part in the plot at some point, is a bag of marbles.
A bag of marbles. What is the AI going to come up with?
Well, this is the whole thing. Can you predict what the AI is going to come up with? Can you do better than the AI?
I've been playing around with ChatGPT.
Right.
And the answer is no.
Okay.
That is a frightening thing.
So we will see what you come up with, what the AI come up with. Are you ready for the first section, which is setup?
Setup.
How are you going to set up this world?
I like Kevin James.
You do?
Yeah. I feel like maybe we could go with has there been a Zookeeper 2?
A two-keeper.
A zookeeper, yeah.
I don't think so. I think they looked at the Zookeeper and they figured, what a perfect movie. We have to leave that alone for the ages.
Well, I'm rebooting it. We're back.
Are we going to combine horrible franchises? Are you going to combine Zookeeper and the Animal with Rob Schneider? And the Animal is in the zoo for the Zookeeper 2-keeper?
I think I just like Kevin James as Zookeeper.
Okay.
You know what?
No, that's fine.
Scrap Zookeeper 2. I'm going, Kevin James is just a zookeeper. He's a zookeeper. He's been a zookeeper for years. It's been his dream, it's his passion. There's a massive franchise coming in, maybe a Disney.
Or to not get sued, a Misney corporation.
A Misney, yeah.
Bicky the Bouse. Bicky the Louse.
Yeah, that's in.
Ticky the Louse.
Perfect.
There we go.
That's genius. That's why he gets paid the big bucks.
There we go.
His local zoo. Right. It's been like a part of the community for a long time. I don't know what local zoos have. Are there local zoos?
Yeah, I mean, there might be. Like, there's the farm zoos or the petting zoos and sort of things like that as well.
Bigger.
I mean, it's America, so it'd be entirely different, but even the same things apply there. Like, post-COVID, that they were absolutely wiped out because nobody came to visit, and he's going to have to... It looks like he's going to have to sell because, he's in arrears, he's lost out on 2 whole years' worth of revenue, and now, like, the only thing to do is to sell.
Misney are coming in to make, like, a virtual zoo.
Yeah.
Like, there's a virtual reality zoo that's going to come in.
Right.
So they don't have to hurt the animals, they don't have to...
Yeah, it's all holograms.
Exactly. And he's down on his luck. So that's my setup. He's wandering around. He's got news of this. And
you're sure you don't want to make this part of the larger Billy Madison verse, putting Adam Sandler as like a Kevin Smith, where it's the president from Pixels, who's also played by your boy
Kevin James.
Kevin James comes up and talks to Kevin James, who's with a cameo with the teacher who becomes an MMA fighter, and Here Comes the Boom, and all of these other Kevin James things.
I wouldn't mind a Sandler cameo at some point. Maybe a David Spade cameo involved.
Rod Schneider coming in and saying, "You can do it."
Yeah. Rod Schneider's playing the monkey, obviously.
So what's his fatal flaw?
His flaw is that he hates art.
Okay.
Is that too obvious?
He hates creativity, the idea of these people that are coming in. It's like, this is the real world. Can't you just look at things that are real? It's so much more fascinating than the ideas people can come up with.
Perfect, yeah. So he likes the real world, he loves nature, and he thinks anything that is a little bit more artistic, a little bit more creative is silly. And
he hates anything that's artificial.
Yeah, he hates artificial stuff, yeah. He's all about the real world, getting into the jaws of the animal. Maybe he does a head inside the lion type type show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only it's an old lion and it's just gums.
Yeah, he gets slobber on his ears.
That writes a Kevin James scene right there, you know.
That's perfect.
So, do you want to hear what the AI had for the setup?
Let's see.
Jack, a zookeeper and aspiring artist, jumps into a painting of a medieval city to escape a security guard. He meets Lily, a street urchin who steals his marbles and leads him into an adventure.
So if we're doing bingo, you can see that the ChatGPT has already got rid of several there. We've got rid of the zookeeper. We've got rid of the painting come to life. We've got rid of the bag of marbles straight away. Not necessarily much of a hitman story. And we've got the rooftop battle to come as well.
They're packing it in. All I've got is a miserable zookeeper.
Well, that's fine. You're spacing your things out. You're taking your time to explore it.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm more of an artistic visionary.
It's in the setup. He's already moved into this extraordinary world, right?
That's too much. Too much AI.
And here it is, you know, it's somebody that wants to be an artist, whereas you're taking the artist, he hates art.
He hates it. He needs to feel in the real world.
Yeah.
And I think, they've blown it all in the first 10 minutes.
The question is, where are they going to go from here? So that's the real thing.
Let's see.
So we're now going to go to the next section, which is complication.
Complication.
Okay.
So the AI has obviously pushed past and already gone into their complication. But at this point, it's what happens that shakes up the world of your Kevin James zookeeper. Are we going to give him a name, by the way? We could call him Kevin, or we could call him James.
Yeah.
Or there are other options.
I like, Kevin, James. They've
James
gone with
Kevin?
James Kevin, I feel like that's a bit on the nose. What have they gone with? Paul or something?
Jack.
Jack. Yeah, see, classic AI.
Yeah.
With Jack. I'm going to go with Rob.
Okay.
Rob.
The anti-Jack.
Yeah. The Wario.
There we go. Rob Wario.
Yeah, of course.
There we are. That's a great name.
We're getting sued by Nintendo.
Is he as beloved?
Yeah.
Okay, his name's Rob Waluigi.
Perfect.
Okay, good.
Spot on.
So we in the complication then. What is going to happen to Rob Waluigi?
Misney are coming in, creating a virtual and AI-fueled zoo that's going to put him out of business.
Ticky the Louse is everywhere.
Yeah, they're selling Ticky the Louse,
antenna
merch.
hats.
Yeah, everyone's going crazy for it. So we need to fuel a hitman story. So I think maybe someone could come in from maybe an outside source that maybe needs to put... What's his name? Paul. Rob, yeah.
You named him.
Well, yeah, it's very forgettable as Paul. Rob.
That's why I suggested James Kevin. You're not forgetting that.
I think Rob needs a quest to sort out Misney. And that could be his hitman.
Okay, so you're sending a hitman to take out the head of the Misney Corporation.
I think someone needs to get Rob. I'm calling him Kevin from now on.
All right, fair enough.
We're in Kevin. Rob's been scrapped.
He's just Kevin Waluigi.
Kevin Waluigi, yeah.
I mean, do we want to bring in a love interest at this point, like for a late turn? It doesn't have to be a male hitman.
Very true. I know. I want to turn Kevin into the hitman. He needs to go on a quest as a hitman to take out the head of the Misney Corporation. So that's what I'm leading to. So we need a complication.
Does he have a friend, like someone who says, look, this is what you should do. The only way out of this is that you're going to have to do it. So do we have like a bad angel on his shoulder?
Yeah, I think you've got his mate, who's obviously a drinker.
Right.
Rob Schneider.
Okay.
Straight in. Rob Schneider's a drinker. He mucks out the horses. Mucks out the lions, keeps everything sorted. He's going, this is a problem. They're going to come in. They're going to take our jobs. They're going to ruin the whole place. You need to go and sort this guy out.
Yeah, exactly. Kill Malt Misney. You can do it.
Kill Malt Misney. Put a bullet in his brain. I'll give you this gun.
Okay.
Obviously, he's got a gun.
Yes.
Rob Schneider, and he's a drinker.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's America, I assume.
Yeah, of course.
Unless they're faking terrible English accents.
That could happen.
Yeah.
So, Malt Misney, he's got a personal vendetta against this location, Kevin James's zoo.
Maybe some bad history with his father.
Right, yeah, they were rivals, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it could be almost like an It's a Wonderful Life sort of story that he tried to buy them out back in the 50s, but they were the only ones that held out, which is why it really is galling.
And now he's
an old decrepit person, because we could have flashbacks to... Kevin Waluigi's father, obviously played by Kevin James again in makeup.
Of course, black and white.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I think he'll go on a quest, a journey to find this guy, put him to death. That sounded aggressive.
We can have him as a really nasty...
Mr. Burns.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, global corporate boss.
Dig up George Burns and have him...
Yeah.
or a CGI George Burns playing a Mr. Burns type.
Perfect. That's my complication. It's coming to the final days. Bulldozers are outside.
Yep.
Kevin, his mate, is coming in and said, you need to go and sort this guy out. This is the only way we're going to save our zoo. Have I just made We Bought a Zoo?
With Hitmen. Don't worry, you're going to have to bring in the painting and the rooftop battle and stuff like that later.
God, the AI has got this all sorted.
You've now dealt with the Hitman story, you've dealt with the zookeeper.
Yeah.
Arguably, you're leaving the more difficult things till later. We still have the bag of marbles.
Oh, the bag of marbles.
We still have the rooftop battle, and we still have the painting come to life.
Painting come to life, I think...
That's fine. We can come to it. I'm just letting you know what you've got left to do.
So I think Kevin's gone now. He's out. He's heading to LA to find Malt Misney.
Right.
He's got a gun in his back pocket.
And a heart full of dreams.
A heart full of dreams, yeah. And I hate Malt Misney t-shirt on.
Like a big... cross eyes on Tiki the Louse.
Yes, exactly. But you got to get the marbles in.
Don't have to yet.
All right.
Do you want to hear how the AI has done?
All right.
Jack and Lily fend off robbers with marbles and team up to find the key that opens the portal to their worlds. They face guards, traps, and monsters in the fading city.
That's so good.
Well, they've already put the ticking clock in the complication.
True. That's true. They're going to have to do a lot of work towards the end of the movie.
I mean, you wonder how many movies they're trying to cram into it. It's almost... Recently, it sort of seems that they're trying to tell an entire movie at each step, that they want to please the audience so much that they're doing 7 movies rather than 7 steps.
Yeah, it's a bit corporate, isn't it? It's a bit Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, we're a bit more slow. We're making a very artistic...
Yeah. Considered
Kevin James Hitman.
Waluigi movie.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I like that, though.
Yeah.
That is good.
It's
fighting with the marbles, nunchuck style.
Yeah, in a bag.
Yeah.
That's, it's the old weapon from Terry Pratchett, and it's sand in the end of a sock.
I'm going to pretend I know what that is.
Oh, just he's a fantasy writer. I'm a huge nerd.
Oh, I know who he is, I just don't know any of his work.
Oh, no, it's fine. One of his main characters, the chief weapon he has, is a piece of dirt or sand in a sock, because he wears a sock on, and usually somewhere there's dirt or sand around, and if you get a good swing on it, you can really hurt someone.
That's fantastic.
Let's move to section 3 then, which is higher stakes.
Higher stakes.
Okay.
So what happens that pushes Kevin Waluigi over the edge?
He's hit LA.
Yeah.
Gun in his back pocket. Mm-hmm. And he's...
Schneider in his brain. You can
he's got the flashbacks constantly.
Yeah.
Kill Malt.
Yes, exactly. Like a little moving bubble around his head.
Like a Simpsons style.
Or even in Happy Madison, where Billy Madison, where the coach goes over his head like that. They can just reuse from the Billy Madison verse.
That's perfect. Yeah, we're in. I think they've all got to appear at some point.
I mean, I'm thinking you just bring back all of the characters from the terrible movies. Like, you've got a painting, you step back into the Magnificent Six or whatever it was that he did. All of the terrible movies. It's like Avengers Endgame. But Jack and Jill meeting up with the guy from Click with the remote control.
You say terrible movies.
I love them.
Those are beloved classics.
I love Adam Sandler up to the point where I think Jack and Jill came out and it went off a cliff.
Did you ever see the Dunkachino with Al Pacino cameo? And he's like doing a Dunkin' Donuts ad.
Yes,
Dunkachino.
Until you'd reminded me of that, because my mental scarring had gone over the whole thing.
That's his finest performance.
Okay.
I'd take that back. Anyone who's listening.
His finest performance is obviously in Heat, isn't it? She's got a great ass!
Well, you say that. I'm more of a Dunkachino guy, but,
There we go.
Each to their own.
For some... It's
just your opinion, man. So he's in LA. He's found the massive mega corporation building of Malt Misney.
Yep.
He's ready to break in and take out all the guards leading to the very top, which is where Malt sits.
He's breaking in. We have a comic sequence where, he's trying to go through vents. He can't go through vents. He tries to work out all of this sort of stuff like that with this the security code, and he ends up doing the only thing that he can do. He goes in drag as somebody selling sandwiches.
Of course, yeah, I'm in with that. That's spot on. He's trying to figure out a way to get through the guards. He walks past a nice clothing store.
Yeah.
He looks back, little sly look to the camera.
No.
You think what I'm thinking?
You get the Roy Orbison riff.
Yeah, perfect. So he's dressed up. He's all dressed up, ready to go. He barges in. I want to have a real moment. He looks down the vents. There's no way out. The security are all there. One way you can get in is by killing all these guards or getting through all these guards. and he knows he can't do it. He's a fat, schlubby American guy.
Sure.
He needs a turning point.
Maybe he does get there. He's handing out sort of sandwiches.
Yeah.
And it's at this meeting where all of the corporate suits are waiting for Malt Misney to come in, and they're saying, well, and they go through what their plans are and what they're actually happening. And so he's shocked by all of these things, and because he's shocked, he keeps spilling coffee over everyone and all of that stuff.
You can imagine it, can't you?
Yeah, exactly.
It's fantastic. Yeah, you know what? I'm backtracking.
Right.
He's worked his way up to a big meeting room, big boardroom.
Yeah.
It's like everyone's waiting, like you say. They're waiting for him to show up.
It's in the shape of two big antennas of Tiki
exactly.
the Louse.
Yeah. He's handing out the sandwiches. He's giving people coffee. Would you like coffee? Spilling it on their tie. You know, ow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just going to raise it to make a big parking lot for the Disney World East that they're building next door.
Yes, they're not even going to turn it into a zoo.
Yeah.
That's what he thinks. He thinks it's going to be a zoo, and it's actually going to be much worse. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a mall, like you say, or a parking lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the left antenna lot.
Yes. Someone needs to get you on speed dial, because I tell you what, you have so many ideas. You're better than the AI.
I do what I can to please.
We're in the meeting room. It's coming to the final moment where Malt is coming in. In he comes. He's a tiny man, but he's smacking people around. He's being rude. He's calling people horrible names. He then plonks himself down, like a tiny little old man, decrepit, but he's a real
stinker.
Yes, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And Kevin is in the back with his sandwich, dressed as a tea maid or something.
Yes,
like a French tea maid.
They're very bad drag.
Yeah,
or very excellent drag. It has to be one of the two.
Yeah,
it can't just be passable drag.
No, it needs to be shocking, or he needs to look quite attractive.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I think this is going to be his point where he's like, can I do it or can I not?
The gun comes out, and then he's clocked, and the security team comes in. We have like a henchman type character that's introduced.
They're gonna grab him.
Is it just faceless goons, or is it like Blofeld and Oddjob, or is it going to be faceless corporate machine masses?
I like when Malt comes in, he's got a big goon behind him.
Okay,
like his main. That's the guy pushing people out the way.
Does he have an idiosyncratic thing, like he has a hat with a razor in it, or the random task in Austin Powers where it's the shoe that he throws?
Let me see.
But you've got Jaws. But maybe it could be Jaw Eye. Through some horrible genetic mutation, he doesn't actually have eyes. He's blind, but he's got teeth where his eyes should be and an eye where his mouth should be. Upside down Cyclops.
Maybe he's just got one eye.
Okay.
He's a big brute. Lenny from Mice and Men.
I'm thinking with the painting that comes to life, going to be realistic, so it is the hologram thing that you were talking about earlier, or whether it's going to be more Mary Poppins and actually his plans are even more nefarious because it is a Cyclops that he's brought through from another world.
I think that could be it.
And that's the source of his money, how he can fund all of his parks and free labour and stuff like that.
What do they call it? Like a multiverse?
Yeah.
That's popular, isn't it?
Yeah.
That'll flog it.
And exactly. Like, if you've got Malt Misney mining the multiverse, I don't know what real-world parallels that has as a piece of satire.
Exactly, yeah. So he's got his Cyclops from a multiverse.
It's probably like a realistic corporate Willy Wonka. So that, he is actually bringing Oompa Loompas through from alternate universes to do all of the work for him in the factory sweatshop so he doesn't have to pay people in China.
Sure.
There's no taxes off planet.
That's so good. Yeah, he's got a crew of people from different universes.
This is our higher stakes then. He goes in, that he's about to kill him, and then he finds out that there's this multiverse room through the painting come to life.
Yes.
And he realises that he can't really sort of kill him because he's got actual literal magical powers.
Yeah, and he's...
I mean, maybe we'll save a little bit of that of the Dark Knight of the Soul, right? But
yeah,
for the higher stakes, we know that the stakes are high, and then we'll come back and revisit that. I'll just tell you what the higher stakes are for the AI.
Jack and Lily are caught by Lord Blackwood, the painter and tyrant of the city. He plans to erase them with his magic brush and use the key to conquer other worlds.
That's fantastic.
So now it's turned into that episode Rabbit Rampage of like Bugs Bunny, where the Daffy Duck with the paintbrush messing around with him. Or Duck 'em Up was the one where Daffy was being tortured by bugs, I think. So.
Does AI take stuff from certain films, or does it take things from like the internet?
It's a language model,
right?
So it sort of scrapes the internet and looks for patterns. So it will take inspirations from various places. So it works out what the context is, and then it tries to write it.
Great. We haven't taken any inspiration from anything. No. I don't think.
Well, no, apart from Kevin James.
Yeah, apart from Kevin James and the Zookeeper and Adam Sandler movies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Misney and Membo.
Yeah, yeah, of course. That is good. But it is a bit safe, AI.
Yes.
Could see it coming a mile off.
It seems like a movie that you would go and watch in the cinema now.
100%.
Which also shows the state of the movies that we watch in the cinema now.
They must be using AI.
Yeah, probably.
There's a new film come out called Ghosted. Have you seen it?
I watched it yesterday.
How was it? I haven't seen it. It looks like the worst load of trollop I've ever seen in my life.
It's not terrible. I like the writers because they're the people that did Deadpool and Zombieland.
Oh, okay, all
right. The last film they did was Spiderhead that was quite good. It's properly a rom-com, which you don't see much of these days, but they kind of spliced it with an action movie. Ana de Armas is quite winning. Chris Evans is good. It's nice seeing them paired up again after Knives Out.
All right, you know what? I'll take it back.
It's all right, but
yeah.
It is pretty cookie cutter.
That's what it seemed like, and it seems like a lot of those like Amazon Prime ones, like straight to Netflix, straight to Amazon Prime, like that new Guy Ritchie one. They're kind of a little.
Oh, I tried with that. I just couldn't. I watched the first like an hour of it, and then. It was gone.
Yeah, fair enough. So I think that's what they're doing. I think it's a little bit safe from the AI, but like you say, it does feel like it would be a real movie.
They're feeling more and more like they're proper films, right? It's interesting to chart the progress. Like the first one, the special object was a hat stand and it made it a character, and now, it's evolving. It's not quite doing that anymore.
Excellent. So by episode, 15, 20?
Oh, who knows?
There's going to be it's going to be perfect.
Yeah. I had Sam Joseph on the other week who works in this sort of stuff, and he was sort of saying at the time we reach a singularity, it will be essentially having the Industrial Revolution every picosecond.
Oh my God. And I know Sam.
Yeah.
I've seen Sam do stand-up.
Yeah.
And that seems like something he would say.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. That is frightening.
It is.
Well,
we'll
all be out of a job. So
it being frightening is probably good because we're moving to the Dark Knight of the Soul.
Here we go.
I think actually we pretty much covered what your Dark Knight of the Soul would be in the last section. Okay,
right?
Because the Dark Knight of the Soul is where our hero is at his lowest ebb, where it seems that he's never going to accomplish anything. Finding out that Malt Misney is a multiversal demon sorcerer bringing over people from other worlds where all he's got is a gun means that his need to kill him is greater, but his ability to kill him is even less.
We left it
up in the air, really. Mm-hmm. So he could have been caught, and it could be, I recognise you, I knew your father, and I'm now going to end you.
Yep.
Or it could be that he's sneaking in, he fails his way upwards, he Mr. Bean's holidays it into the right place, he does a bit of a Johnny English, he sees this stuff happening, and that's what entirely boggles his mind and realises that actually this person has to be got rid of.
I want this to be a low point. I like him being caught.
Yeah.
He pulls off the clothes.
Yeah.
And he's revealed Kevin is there, and he sees a Malt Misney, looks at him, and he has a flashback. He sees his grandfather in him and knows that this is the guy that tried to do me over, or I did over back in the day.
He looks at him. He says, James?
Yeah.
And it's like, no, James was my grandfather.
Yeah.
And then we have like a black and white flashback where you sort of see them.
They're friends, and then they break off the relationship.
Sure,
and then I want to go into a separate room. Now there's a bit of a deeper connection. This isn't just a random person who's coming to try and hurt me.
Yeah.
I've got a connection with this person. So he's like, come with me. I've got something to show you.
Yeah.
Obviously the goon has got him by the scruff of the neck. He's dragging him off, and he's taking him to the top of the tower.
Goes into the painting, steps through the painting.
Yeah.
And then he can sort of say, this is my world.
Exactly.
This is one of my many worlds.
Yeah, you're two steps ahead of me.
Right.
On the wall, you've got frames, picture frames, painting frames.
Yeah.
And through each one of those is a different multiverse.
Yeah.
So he's up there and he's showing him this is what the world could become. He's doing a bit of a Thanos, like he's evil, but he's got his reasoning behind it. So he's like, this could save everything, could get rid of zoos and art galleries and everything. We don't need anything. We just need this multiverse and everything that I can take from it.
Yeah.
And now he's stepping into the painting. Come with me, let me show you come with me.
Yeah.
And he's a weird old Willy Wonka.
I'm not just taking over your zoo, I'm taking over the world. I'm going to do it by commerce. I've got unlimited resources. This one, I've taken everything of value. And now, my gift to you is this empty world. He steps back, shuts the painting door behind him, abandons him on this complete new planet.
Oh my God!
I mean, that's the Dark Night of the Soul, right?
I like that. Yeah, yeah. So he's taking him through different paintings, through different worlds.
Yeah, so he gives him a tour.
He goes into I don't know what kind of world.
Like steampunk world.
Yeah.
In Buffy, the world where everything is shrimp was mentioned. We could have a nod to that.
You go into like a cartoon Walt Disney world, like a Steamboat Willie or Steamboat Millie.
Yeah, everybody's walking around like they're in 1920s silent movie or sort of stuff like that.
And then you could have those
2D people in a 3D world. They're just floating around like sheets of paper.
In the silent era world where you got they have an argument, but it's in cards.
Yeah.
They get the cards up. How could you do this to me?
Yes.
You're going to ruin everything.
I can't look at you. It all goes black when you talk.
Yeah. Classic Kevin James comedy, obviously.
Yeah.
And then he takes him to this remote planet where there's nothing there. And he's like, now this is your punishment for what you've done to me, what my grandfather's done to me. We're off. And he steps back out of the painting. Kevin is left in solidarity on his own, nowhere to go.
So, do you want to hear what the AI had for their Dark Night of the Soul?
Let's see.
Rebels rescue Jack and Lily from Lord Blackwood and ask them to join their fight. Jack refuses and argues with Lily, who calls him selfish and cowardly.
I think that's good. I like that. Yeah. That's a heartbreak.
Yeah, I mean, it's a more sort of traditional boy meets girl sort of thing, low point there, but a low point.
Yeah, I like that.
It does what it says on the tin.
I'm a bit moved.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, like you say, it does what it says on the tin. It's a bit cliche.
So now we have the getting it together section.
Right.
Getting it together.
He's been dumped off on a planet where all the resources that have been useful to Walt Disney have been stripped.
We don't know this world.
No.
He doesn't know the world.
No.
So he's thinking out loud like, I can't get back. I don't know where I am. I wish my grandfather was here. Boom. His grandfather appears.
Or, disagree with me, because he's used this as his dumping off point, it could be that 8 years and years ago, he dumped his grandfather there.
Oh, that's brilliant.
He's been found, and because he looks the same,
they recognise each other.
This grandfather is dead because he's been a long time dumped on this planet, but maybe that there's a tribe who go around and love nature and all of these kinds of things.
Bring it back.
They take him to the hut, and there's this letter where he says, I tried to stop Molt. I knew what was happening, but I couldn't. He said that he would ruin me, that I would lose everything. The one thing I didn't lose, I never lost my marbles. Now I give them to you.
And there's a little pack of marbles.
There's
like
a little pack of marbles.
That's fantastic.
But each of the marbles, like in Men in Black, right, is a little planet.
Yeah. Each a little different world.
A little different world.
Yeah.
And so this is his way to travel.
Ah.
And in terms of the resources that he's gathered, because his father was also a zookeeper, this whole civilization has grown up as one that's in cohort with nature and animals. Walt Disney doesn't care about animals, he cares about gold and stripping, resources and valuable things. So basically he now has a beast army and the ability to get back.
Because of his legacy, his grandfather's legacy, even though it's not in the real world.
He became like the patriarch of this tribe, and now the tribe has grown in skill, and he's basically...
They've got animals
nation
at their disposal.
Yeah.
They've got weapons.
Maybe they're, ironically, giant insects, so they are riding lice.
That would be terrifying.
Yeah.
But... yeah, I like that. I'm in with that.
Spider riders.
They've got fashioned weapons. They've got
like giant cockroaches. They're just holding onto the carapace as they zoom backwards and forwards.
Exactly. Yeah, grasshoppers with the praying mantis. Yeah. They've got on the front, zapping them.
Any insect that you magnify into huge proportions is instantly terrifying.
That is terrifying. I'm frightened of insects.
Yeah.
I'm deadly scared of insects. So this is
imagine a giant butterfly. Looks like giant eyes in the sky. Everyone knows giant sky eyes are scary.
Yeah. Yeah. Sky Eyes.
Yeah.
We've got a title.
Spider Riders and Sky Eyes.
Now he's got a civilization that is akin to his heart.
Yeah.
They are earth lovers, they're animal lovers.
They all hate Malt Misney.
They hate him. And he's got this little pack of marbles that, if they throw them or they jump into them, they can go into different worlds?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's got to now get back to Malt's big empire, his massive building, and take him on.
Well, because there's got to be a rooftop battle.
I'm there. I'm with you.
Yeah.
So he looks at the marbles. He's seeing which ones are which.
Yeah.
He tries one of them. It's something completely different. It's like Mars. And it's got,
We can have just a quick montage sequence there where he's trying all of the marbles, and each time he goes through with his army, they're a little bit different. So by the time he's at the end of it, there's like one of the cockroaches has got like cybernetic armor on it.
Yeah.
You've got one of the spiders. They end up wearing
medieval tunics.
Yeah, or like a suit of armour on that spider. One of the, the giant moth that's got a cowboy hat and a lasso. Whatever you want. They're going through like different genres.
They take different things from each one.
Yeah, exactly.
And then finally, they get plopped down on the rooftop of the Misney Corporation, and they're waiting there, ready to go.
Let's stop there.
All right.
We're talking confrontation. This is
go.
finale territory.
Here we go.
So let's hear what the AI had for getting it together.
Jack realizes that he loves Lily in the city, and that his own world is empty. He decides to join the rebels and apologizes to Max. Max tells him to steal the key from Lord Blackwood while they distract his army. Jack is the only one who can use the key and open the portal. He accepts the mission.
Not quite clear why he's the only one.
No, unless maybe it's just the way he looks.
Well, maybe it's because he came from another world. Maybe it doesn't matter.
We're inventing stuff for the AI. It needs to sort this out itself.
Okay,
we can't help it.
Okay,
yeah,
exactly.
I've got you. You've pretty much written this story, Glenn.
No, well, I mean, I apologise if I have.
No, you're the creative visionary. This is it. I'm the nuts and bolts. You're the brains.
There we go.
Yeah,
creative visionary of the Malt Misney takedown.
Yeah.
Right. So for the finale.
So I think there has to be a battle here. We're gearing up for a Avengers Endgame style.
We have cybernetic cockroaches.
Yep.
We've got
Spider Riders.
Medieval Spider Riders.
Yep.
Cowboy Sky Eyes, moths.
Versus Malt's army of...
So it's the rooftop.
Yep.
They have their talking confrontation.
Yep.
Right, I'm going to take you down. Not just what you're doing to my zoo, not just what you're doing to do for my grandfather, but what you've done to all of those other worlds.
I need to stop you. You're an evil, disgusting man with a horrible corporation that's going to ruin the world. It's going to take the humanity out of the world.
Take the humanity out of the world. I took the humanity out of myself eons ago. Pulls off his rubber mask. Reveals that underneath it all, he has literally become a demon from taking magic from the other worlds. And he's like, Wahahaha, I do Pilates.
Yeah, but he's got very weak legs.
Yes.
Which may come up... Maybe may come up in the future.
Maybe.
But he's got a big demon body with a big demon head.
Yeah.
But he's got little spindly legs.
It's a bobblehead. He looks like a Funko Pop.
He does, yeah.
He's still aware of the marketing opportunities.
Yeah.
He is like, those sort of things where they take cartoon characters and make them look real.
Yeah.
So it's like he's got the proportions of a Funko Pop, but realistic eyes. So it's really Uncanny Valley off-putting.
Exactly.
Someone get an Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to be on TikTok. I'm famous.
I'm a bobblehead.
Okay.
I also glow in the dark and have chase variants. Wahaha.
Banging.
13 realistic electronic sounds.
Batteries not included. And then the armies go at it.
Yep.
So Malt and Kevin back off. Yeah. And the armies go crazy, big sequence, fighting.
All of the demon armies that have come through all of the multiple worlds we saw earlier in that first trip through.
They're from the same universe, so you've got the medieval spiders fighting medieval monsters.
Yeah,
they're all clashing.
It's a big, horrible clash of CGI. We're talking worst level Transformers.
Shocking.
So much stuff happening on screen you can't work out what it is.
Exactly, yeah. The first Hulk.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, spectacular. Actually, that was quite good CGI, I seem to remember. I fell asleep in that when I was about 6.
That was okay, because at least you could tell what the characters were. You can't necessarily tell when all of the metal is clashing together what's happening. I remember the same thing in like Die Hard 4. It's just like so many cars and explosions, I can't track what's going on. Lose complete interest.
I think it's low level CGI. It's all a mess.
Yeah.
No one knows what's going on. So they're fighting. But meanwhile, Kevin sneaking around. He's got his little case of marbles.
Yeah.
He's walking around the side. He's hiding. He's trying to get to Malt, who's, ordering people around. Go here, go here.
Yeah.
Big explosion, or there needs to be a clearing of the dust.
Yeah.
Everyone's dying. Ants and monsters are dying. Just as Malt is about to press a big button.
Yeah.
That would take over. That would.
Or he's about to take out another painting of like a hell planet. He's just going to start spewing lava everywhere out of this painting.
He's at the point where of no return. This is it. He's going to take over the world.
Right.
And then Kevin throws the marbles on the floor. Yeah. Like a banana skin.
I have an idea. So that's his plan.
Go for it.
He throws those on the floor. That was your plan? You thought I would slip on these? Tips over the bobblehead, and he goes, no, I thought you would slip into them. And so they're on the floor. As he's on the floor, one arm goes in one universe, one arm goes in another universe, the legs goes. It's like hung, drawn and quartered that he's pulled, screaming in a demonic explosion into 4 separate universes.
That's spectacular.
There we go.
That's fantastic, yeah. Exactly. You thought I would fall over them. Oh no, you're going to fall into them.
Yeah.
Oh, that is superb. That's in the trailer.
So there we go. That's our finale. Do you want to hear what the finale was to the AI?
Yeah.
Jack and the rebels storm Lord Blackwood's castle to get the key that can take him back to his world. He finds the key and runs to the painting that is a portal to the museum, while Lord Blackwood tries to stop him. He meets Lily at the portal and asks her to come with him, but she refuses. They confess their love and say goodbye. Jack returns to the museum and sees Lily one last time before the painting disappears.
That's sweet. It's a sweet ending.
Not much rooftop.
Yeah.
Not much. Sometimes, it doesn't happen often. I try and weed them out, but I thought for verisimilitude, I would leave maybe some of them in. Sometimes the AI does ignore some of the prompts.
Well,
which
might
be
better.
It might be. It's like rooftop battles are played out.
Yeah.
Who wants another hitman story?
Yeah, but romantic love interests.
It does also bowdlerise itself a little bit, so it is all a bit misnified. The rough edges are sanded off. You ask it for a hitman story or a gangster story, and it will
just go its own way.
Yeah, or it will start telling a story which is really sort of like dark and detailed and kind of like John Wick, and then it will say, no, I'm not allowed to answer this anymore because its internal sensor just goes and then it deletes everything that it's just done.
Right. Okay. But I like that, though. I think it's a cohesive ending.
Yeah.
A little bit more cohesive than ours.
I don't know. It's come to some sort of a conclusion.
True. It hasn't got that line, though. We've got bits of dialogue that we're writing in. That's a brilliant line.
I'm thinking maybe I'll ask it for some sample dialogue from the film afterwards, and then I'll put it in here.
Okay.
Lily, listen to me.
What?
I love you.
I love you too.
Then go.
What?
Go through the portal. Save yourself.
No, Jack. I can't leave you.
You have to. Please.
Jack.
Go, Lily. Go.
He pushes her towards the portal.
Jack.
She cries as she goes through the portal.
Goodbye, Lily.
So now let's go towards the final image.
Final image.
Well, Malt is gone. I think it's that's like the big end. We've put the villain to bed. We've won.
So I mean, if you think about it, sometimes it's sort of like 1 week later, 1 month,
exactly
1 year later.
I think we go 1 year later, and it's Kevin. He's strolling around his zoo that's now a little bit bigger than ever.
Yeah,
but in the different cages, instead of there being a small sad goat, a rubbish mountain lion, we've got different animals from different parts of the universe, but it's still a nice, sweet zoo. So you've got the moths, you've got the spider riders in there, and people are petting them and being nice.
And all of the people that were in the tribe are now really getting into McDonald's and look Lonald's.
Yeah, of course. And they're showing people around and doing demonstrations, and I think it's a really nice, sweet image at the end.
Yeah. I was also going to add to that a little bit that you have that's his new setup, and then he goes into his office where we saw him at the beginning really worrying, and Roy Schneider says, "Yes, you did it."
And then
hands back his gun. He looks at his granddad's marbles, and then somebody pops out of one, and he goes, by universal decree, by killing the evil Maltmisny, you have now become the evil overlord of 16 universes. And they're in trouble. Yeah, you're going to have to do something.
bang, credits roll.
There we go.
And then that sequel after sequel after
exactly.
sequel.
Different universe, different Kevin James in each. Maybe that's how you bring the whole Adam Sandler universe together.
Mm-hmm.
The next one he goes to is the Pixels universe, where he's president. But there's all of these, 8-bit characters. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that'd be perfect. That'd be great. I like that. David Spade is some sort of Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Oh.
David Spade is one of the Ant Riders. He's the head chief of the new village, who was like a little boy when his grandfather first got
This
there.
is spectacular. And then it's just going to get to the point 15 years down the line where it's going to be like Fast and the Furious, and they're like, they're making another one of these.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But I don't know.
Think of the money, Glynn.
I know. It just prints itself.
Yeah.
Adam Sandler, if you're listening to this or someone forwards it, we'd be happy to talk to you about that.
We would, but it's going to cost you.
Yeah. At least £3.50, maybe £4.
Yeah. £8.
An hour. Well,
Yeah.
I just don't want to bid myself low. Right. So the final image for the AI was this.
Jack is a happy zookeeper and painter. He has a painting of his adventure and love, Lily, on his wall. He meets a new coworker who looks like Lily and shares his name and passion for art. They feel a bond. The painting glitters with magic.
Aww, that is great.
I mean, if it really implies that it's the same person in a different multiverse, but it also implies that the only thing that people care about is what somebody looks like on the outside. It's like, you've got the same name and look exactly like this woman, well, we must instantly fall in love then.
That's
Your
true.
personalities may be entirely different.
Yeah, no, that is true. That makes sense. But
it has been done in movies before.
It has, and I do feel like I'm going to get that nice, warm, fuzzy feeling at the end where it's like, oh.
No. I mean, Shakespeare did it all the way back in Twelfth Night, right?
Right.
With all of the people getting together. That they've never met the sort of the twin brother before, but
they're all the same.
They instantly fall in love because,
right, of course.
Lady Olivia fell in love with his twin sister, so obviously she must love him equally, right?
Yeah.
So if Shakespeare did it, the AI can get away with it.
I agree. Well, it is our new Shakespeare.
Yeah, absolutely.
We don't need Shakespeare anymore.
The Google one is called Bard, worryingly enough.
That is awful. That's disgraceful. But I quite like that. But but it is corporate, which I think if they do make that film, our film will be a pastiche. I
think it's got to be a little bit guerrilla, because you're not going to do the Misney Corporation with roughly some feathers.
But I think if they make that film, the AI makes that film, that'll be like, oh, this is this corporate cliche nonsense, and we are a parody of that.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. I think that works. They're playing into our hands.
All right, so it's just two things left.
Right.
I have asked the AI to come up with a title for the movie and to come up with a tagline. After that, you will have to come up with a title and a tagline. Right. So do you want to hear what the AI's title and tagline were?
Let's see.
Painted love.
Painted love.
Oh.
A brush with destiny.
A brush with destiny.
That's good. I like the tagline.
Yeah, no, I like it. It's a play on tainted love, right? But painted love.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's genius. There's no way I'm that smart to come up with that. Painted love.
Ooh, you can hear you can hear Billie Eilish doing the cover.
Oh, of course.
But changing it. Painted love. I do not like the way you take over another planet and try and destroy us with your brushstrokes.
Yeah. Perfect. Soft cell?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mark Almond,
yeah. All right.
So,
good. Okay.
What do you think you are going to name this movie?
So, we're zookeeping AI.
Masters of the Zooniverse.
I hate how good you are at this. Masters of the Zooniverse. I don't think that can be taken out. That is fantastic.
All right, that's fine.
Masters of the Zooniverse and the tagline.
I'm not going to say anything for the tagline then.
All right. I like the marbles. So don't lose your marbles.
There we go.
Yeah, this summer.
Master of the Zooniverse. Don't lose your marbles.
Coming soon.
Yeah.
To a chip
Coming
shop
soon.
Coming soon. Oh my God. It writes itself.
Exactly.
Yeah,
There
that's
we go.
fantastic.
Well, and so was this. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, great fun.
So this is the end of the podcast. So if you've got any social media or channels or things that people can follow you on or stuff that's coming up, this is the time to say it.
Okay, you can follow me on Instagram at James Mileham, JamesMileham, and that's pretty much it. Oh, and you can, follow me on something else.
Well, great.
Bebo.
Yep.
MySpace. I'm on all of them.
All of the ones. You've
MSN.
got a Napster profile.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's great. If you want to see James and other comics like him, we are at the Comedy Cat every Saturday, and that's what we're going to do now. James is headlining. So thank you very much, James. That's
Thanks,
great.
Jen. That's great fun.
Yeah.